There's something weird happening in Thailand right now, and I know you've noticed it too. Come on, I'm not the only one. You felt it. The atmosphere has changed in recent times. When I say recent, I don't mean the last few weeks. I mean the last year or two. There's been this definite shift. If you saw my most recent video about this influx of wannabe influencers coming to Thailand, almost like something out of a Star Wars movie, the airports nowadays are like stormtroopers being shipped in one by one, just clones of each other. There's another side to the tale, in my opinion, because what about those who are already here? We've got all these newbies coming in by the day over here, bringing their positivity, their optimism, their hopes and dreams for the future in paradise. Over here, the long-term people, the people who've been here a while, and I'm not just talking about social media, I'm talking about the general vibe of the expat community. It doesn't seem so optimistic. It seems to have become somewhat negative. Everything is shrouded in negativity at the moment. Now let's look at the facts. Let's look at some of the things that people are talking about. The over-tourism problem, or the tourism collapse. It's two completely contradictory things, which both seem to be issues here in Thailand right now. In terms of the tourism collapse, yes, the reported tourism numbers are going down year by year, and I have a really simplistic view of that. I don't know if anybody, you experts out there, are going to agree or disagree with this, but I just think to myself, after COVID, after the pandemic, people banged up for so long. Some people couldn't travel for 2 years, maybe. Of course, there's going to be a bounce back. And when there is a bounce back, this euphoria of being able to get out there again. Maybe a week in Magaluf isn't enough. A week in Spain, Benidorm, isn't enough. Maybe people want to go big. Somewhere like Thailand, which is a dream bucket list destination for so many. Of course, they're going to gravitate towards something big like that after being basically stuck and trapped in their homes for maybe 1 or 2 years. But maybe that's too simplistic. What about this influx of people who are moving here? I very rarely see people who have just visited Thailand. I visited Thailand for 2 weeks. I traveled in Thailand for 2 weeks. You don't hear that quite as much as you used to compared to I moved to Thailand. I live in Bangkok. I live in Chiang Mai. I live in Phuket. Everybody seems to be moving here, not visiting here. People are getting the permanent visas, whatever visa that may be, as opposed to the tourist visa, because I'm imagining that those tourist statistics are based on those arrival stamps. And if somebody's coming here to move here, maybe they have sorted their visa out outside the country. Maybe that's a little bit of a factor too. I did check my statistics before this video. I think it was a 5.4% decrease between the first 6 months of this year and the first 6 months of last year, which equates to around just under 18 million last year and just under 17 million this year. Of course, that is lower, but is it crisis talk? Is it Thailand is finished? If it was under 10 million and it had dropped off by like 50%, then obviously I think that would be a different conversation. But in the grand scheme of things, is a 5% decrease? Yes, for the Thailand government, for the Thailand Tourism Authority, yes, that is something that they will want to work on. But in general, does that mean Thailand is finished? Does that mean everyone's giving up on Thailand? Maybe it just means the people who are in this market, in this sphere of travel, like to frequent Southeast Asia, maybe they visited Thailand. Maybe that was top of their list. They ticked that box and they want to try something new. Hence why the tourism figures of places like Vietnam are increasing. Just my theory. But it's not just the tourism figures that are causing this negativity, in my opinion. It's also the situation with visas, the situation with long-term eligibility to live here. Someone who's lived abroad for 15 years legally always had to have a visa to live wherever I'm living. Visas are just a ball ache of life if you're going to live abroad. And yes, in certain countries, they are sort of easier and smoother than others. And yes, governments are at liberty to change the goalposts, and we kind of just have to follow what they say. Is it frustrating at times? Of course it is. As a married father living here in Thailand, would I like a smoother process for me and my family? Of course I would. Of course I would. But does that mean I'm going to throw in the towel and run off to Vietnam because it might be easier to acquire a medium to long-term visa there? No, it absolutely doesn't. And I think this goes back to the question of why are you here? And I made a video months ago talking about this, and I think it really ties this all together. It's, are you moving to Thailand? Are all these newbies over here, all these stormtroopers that are being shipped in, are they moving here for the right reasons? The people who are over here, who are bringing the negativity nowadays, are they here for the right reasons? They're optimistic. They don't know any better. They've been here long term. They're a little bit worn down. I'm a little bit worn down too. The reason I don't see the point in complaining about things like visas is because I've got no choice. If I want to be with my wife, if I want to be with my baby, that's what I've got to do. If you don't have to live here and you're considering moving off to Vietnam or Cambodia or somewhere of that ilk, that's cool, because you obviously came out here for certain reasons. No criticism. You obviously came out here for certain reasons, and maybe those goalposts have been moved. And if the original checklist you have can be ticked elsewhere, then why wouldn't you move? Don't stay here out of spite and hate living in Thailand. Move and find happiness elsewhere. These stormtroopers of positivity, the reason there's so much positivity coming from over here is because they haven't been through anything yet. They've not experienced anything yet. This is just happy, happy, happy. But over here, you've got the people who've been here a while. Maybe some of them have something tying them here now. Maybe some of them have got themselves into a situation where they are tied here now. And maybe that is what's causing some frustration. My opinion, if you don't need to be here and it's not making you happy to be here, then why the hell would you be here?